Welcome to It's Personal, Not Just Business, with your host, Michael Fliegelman. In each episode, you'll learn lessons from other successful financial advisors and brokers. You can find this show on YouTube, LinkedIn, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and on swanwealth.com. Now here's the host of It's Personal, Not Just Business, Michael Fliegelman.
Hi, welcome everybody. My name is Michael Fliegelman, and welcome to another episode of It's Personal, Not Just Business. As the Godfather said, the exact opposite, it's business, not personal. I have come to the conclusion that all my business success has been built around building strategic relationships with good people, and you develop personal relationships. And one of those personal relationships I've developed is with Mr. Todd Wiedenkeller of Wiedenkeller Insurance in New Paltz, New York, my old alma mater where I went to school some 40 years ago. So first, let me say welcome, Todd. Thank you for joining us.
Hi, Michael. Thank you for inviting me.
It's my pleasure. You know, over the last few years, we've gotten to know each other real well, and I've really enjoyed working with you. And partially, it's because of our similar perspective about the relationships that we develop with our clients. They become friends. They almost become like family. And I know that that's a big part of what's made you successful over these 46 years in the insurance business. So you must have some tremendously long-standing client relationships and friends. So share with us a little bit about the Todd Wiedenkeller story, about your business, about your life, what you want to share so our listeners have some context about who you are and what you do and what makes you unique.
Well, I would say a message maybe I would give to viewers would be to stick to whatever it is you're doing. I happen to be in insurance. I started when I was 24 years old. I'm 71. There have been ups and downs, difficulties, hard times, financial problems, personal problems. But I would say staying the course is the key to success. And an example of that would be a boxing match that happened with Meldrick Taylor and Julio Cesar Chavez about 15 years ago. And Chavez was losing a 12-round fight. He kept going. And at the last couple of seconds in the 12th round, he knocked out Meldrick Taylor. He didn't quit. And that would kind of be my perspective on any business, whether it's insurance, owning a body shop, investments, life insurance, mortgage broker, whatever a person is wanting to do, whatever their profession is to stay the course, to stick with it.
Yeah, such a valuable lesson, you know, so much value in consistency and persistence. You know, I think that that is probably one of the most powerful tools in the world is our ability never to give up. A great, I would say, leader or mentor, a gentleman named Jimmy Valvano, who is the great basketball coach for North Carolina State, and was the kind of like the founder of the ESPY Awards. And he did this really remarkable speech at the first ESPY Awards as he was the man of honor. And it was about never, ever, 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 ever. And he goes on for quite a bit with these evers, ever give up. And that is, you know, such a powerful, powerful thing, that persistence and consistency creates success. And even though it may not have worked for the first 12 rounds or first 11 rounds, it worked in the 12th round.
It certainly did.
It's so interesting. We don't know how close we are to that knockout. Is an interesting analogy. At 211 degrees, water is very hot. But at 212 degrees, it boils. And when water boils, it could steam an engine and it could power a locomotive. Yet you may give up at 211 and never get to 212. So such a powerful, powerful concept is consistency and persistency.
And I would say also, Michael, that doing what a person likes to do is important too. And if you enjoy your work, and I happen to enjoy my work, enjoy my clients, I like the different aspects of the property and casualty business, which I'm primarily in. I enjoy my work. So when I come to the office every day, and even in the evenings and on Saturdays and Sundays, I enjoy my work. So that gives me the motivation to come here. I'm surrounded also by a lot of computer monitors. I watch a lot of financial news. My family is nearby. My daughter owns a real estate business in my office building. So I enjoy my work. And whatever a person does, if they enjoy their work and they're persistent, then they have a pretty good shot at being successful.
Sure, absolutely. And, for anybody who's been in the insurance business for 47 years, you have to be doing a lot of things correctly. You got to be doing a lot of things right. So share with us a little bit about your company, your business, who you like to work with, how people can contact you, so that if they wanted some coverage for their business, some liability coverage, a homeowner's policy, is that something you get involved in? Who do you serve? And share with us a little bit about your company.
I'm an independent insurance broker. I am an agent for a number of insurance companies, and I represent them as agent. And some of those companies would be Foremost Insurance, Farmers, Progressive, Security Mutual, Hartford, Eastern Mutual, Plymouth Rock, and probably others that maybe on a lesser degree I place a little business or not as much, or maybe there's a niche like flood insurance or earthquake insurance, bonds, companies that offer professional liability. So as a broker, I'm representing a lot of different insurance companies, but I also have to either know about or learn about products that I might not necessarily sell on a regular basis. Life insurance is another financial need that people have, like home and auto insurance. I think most people are aware we're not going to be here forever. So where I could help a person with life insurance, I do that as well.
Terrific. Wonderful. So being that, our philosophy is it's really about personal relationships, tell us who you like working with, who you serve in the community, and what it takes to build a successful property and casualty insurance business over a 47-year period.
When you say, Michael, that it's personal, not business, that is how I treat each person that I speak to on the phone or when they come into my office. I'm genuinely interested in their lives, and their life is as valuable as mine. It doesn't matter if they're 18-year-old, 70-year-old, an 80-year-old, married couple, single couple, gay couple. It doesn't make a difference. I have a perspective, and this goes a little philosophical, that each of us we have a soul, and you could call it like an orb of light. And if we take away all of our material things, our bodies, and what we perceive on a day-to-day basis, what's left is that orb of light. And I believe that most people are genuinely good. And I approach everybody like that. And I'm genuinely interested in their lives. And a lot of what they've experienced could be similar to mine, hardships, maybe different type of difficulties or successes. And I enjoy speaking with people because it teaches me a lot about their lives and my lives. And I think that if we approach our clients with that kind of perspective, then they genuinely feel more open to talk, and there's more of a relationship, and then it becomes personal, not business. When that person calls or comes to the office, they feel like they have a friend, and they genuinely do. It just so happens that I am able to help with their insurance needs, protect their home, their house, their lives, their businesses, workers' comp, whatever insurance need they may have. But I would say the real vehicle is being personable and caring. Yeah.
That's great. I think to a great extent, we all have an inventory, and the inventory that you have is relationship. That is your capital. That is what you have accumulated over 46 years, or 47 years actually. So share with us, how do you stay motivated after all these years doing, going into the office and for this period of time? What gets you fired up? How do you stay motivated after all these years doing this work?
Well, I enjoy my work. That's one. I enjoy the people that are my clients and friends. Uh, we can't do this 24/7, although a lot of times I practically do, but because I like to. But I have an outlet, and I've been an amateur boxer for 43 years. 43 years. I trained with Floyd Patterson for 16 of those 43 years. And so at least 3 days a week, I get out of the office uh, and I go to the boxing gym
Wow.
and
You're still doing that, huh?
and train. My last fight was at age 56. I'm 71. So I'm not quite as interested in getting hit in the head anymore as I am staying in good health, just staying in shape. But 5:30, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock. Sometimes I've been at the gym at 10 o'clock at night. But I try to stick to a routine, a schedule. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, get to the boxing gym. And I can be tired when I get there, but when I'm done training, then I'm recharged and literally come back to the office sometimes, and I'll work till 11 o'clock. I'm like recharged. So I would say anybody that's watching this podcast, you need to have outlet too. I also study piano. I love music, so I'm learning how to play the piano, and that's a beautiful outlet too.
Beautiful.
That's important for all of us to have that kind of an outlet. Yeah.
Yeah, wow, that's great. You talk about boxing, which is kind of an unusual outlet, not the most common, outlet. Back in 2008, I actually fought in a charity boxing event where, each of the boxers were like business people like you or me, and we all had to raise money for this really worthy charity that takes care of disabled people. And we were able to raise a good amount of money for a really worthy organization. And I got in the ring. And boy, I got to tell you, the adrenaline was flowing. When you get in a boxing ring and someone's ready to hit you in the head, I never felt anything like it. So that is really an intense workout, boxing. And I imagine, it keeps you in good shape.
It definitely does. And I just happen to like boxing, physically boxing. I love the training. I love also the biographies of the fighters as well, because they're interesting people. And I spoke earlier about sticking with our business, like continue to work at whatever your business is, to stick with it. And boxing is probably the epitome of sticking with it. Like I mentioned, Julio, Cesar, Chavez winning the 12-round fight, and literally the last couple of seconds, the referee stopped the fight. So boxing biographies I find very fascinating. Jack Johnson, John L. Sullivan, Muhammad Ali, all of the boxing biographies I find fascinating. But personally, I like the training and getting to the gym, and then just how it makes me feel physically, to go back to work, to do what I like to do, to spend time with my family. So I say for people watching the podcast, tennis, golf, bike riding, running, whatever you like to do, music, whatever you enjoy doing, having an outlet, push away from the desk and do something different so you could recharge and come back.
It's such great advice. We all need to have balance in our lives, and I think that your boxing story is very interesting. I just add a little tidbit to the boxing. My mother's brother fought for the light heavyweight or the, I don't know, some maybe flyweight championship of the world twice. Gentleman's name, if you like boxing biographies, look up Schoolboy Bernie Friedkin. Schoolboy Bernie Friedkin is on the front page of a book called When Boxing Was a Jewish Sport. Now their mothers won't let them box, but back in the 1930s, when people had no money back then, my Uncle Bernie became almost a championship boxer. He fought to a draw twice for a championship. So look up Schoolboy Bernie Friedkin. He used to say to me, Todd, "Hey, Michael, who's your favorite uncle?" And I'd say Uncle Sid. and then he would beat the crap out of me in a nice way.
He had a good heart.
Yeah, absolutely. The best. He's gone to the other side, but my Uncle Bernie was a real champion. So what does it take to maintain a profitable business while having a great reputation in your community? What is it that you do? What is the magic sauce of the Wiedenkeller Insurance Agency on Main Street in New Paltz?
I would say it's important to be focused in your business. My daughter owns a successful real estate business, and every Tuesday they have meetings, and I happened to be walking by the meeting, and she said, Dad, tell everybody here, and there's about 40 people in her meeting, what do you recommend to be a successful real estate agent? And I said, stay up late and get up early. Work. In other words, there's no substitute for the amount of time that you have to do. Hi, honey. I'm in a meeting right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just
1 second, my granddaughter.
Oh, let's put your granddaughter on the podcast.
Come around here.
I want to meet her.
This is Callie.
Hi, Callie.
Hi.
Welcome to our podcast. You're on a podcast with your grandpa. It's called It's Personal, Not Just Business. So say hello to everybody.
Hi.
So Todd, you being a family man and obviously having calls coming in during our podcast and now Callie joining, I know you're very busy. So I'm going to ask you to just share with everybody if they need to contact you, how they could reach out to you, if they have a need to discuss their general insurance for their business, their homeowners, their liability, anything pertaining to business. They get the best service from a good guy, Todd Wiedenkeller. And one day, maybe Callie will be running this business right there in New Paltz, my old alma mater, right on Main Street. Nice to meet you, Callie.
I wouldn't be surprised if she was one day.
Terrific.
I'm located at 171 Main Street in New Paltz, New York. The name of the business is Wiedenkeller Insurance. My website is winsurance.com, www.winsurance.com. And phone number, if you'd like that, 845-255-7777.
Terrific. Todd, I want to thank you for taking the time to share your insight and perspective on business, and your beautiful granddaughter, Callie. Thank you so much for joining us. Pleasure to meet you, Callie, and all the best. We will see you at the next. It's personal, not just business.
Thank you, Michael.
You've been tuning into It's Personal, Not Just Business, with your host, Michael Fliegelman. Each episode features role models and lessons from other successful financial advisors and brokers. Thank you for your positive feedback, comments, questions, and for sharing this show with others.